The NFL draft is 2 days away. My script writers have been writing on this, working on this for the past month, and this is the script that the NFL draft, what's going to happen, all the trades, and what the teams are going to select. So you better put money on your team picking this guy because it's never wrong. Actually, don't do that. These are going to be 100% wrong anyway, except 2. But anyway, let's get started. And here we go with the first pick. The Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams. This is overall the easiest. They've solidified this ever since they traded Justin Fields to the Steelers. I dislike Chicago for that because it's going to make the Steelers better within a few years. And I like the Bengals. Will this work out for Chicago? I don't know. But this has been solidified since January at this point. With the second pick, the Washington Commanders select Jayden Daniels, quarterback, LSU. This is honestly their easiest choice. I have seen that J.J. McCarthy's draft stock has been rising, that he maybe picked that to the Commanders. I think that, my opinion on J.J. McCarthy, he's got carried by his defense in Michigan. He can throw. I don't think he's a top 3 NFL draft talent. But hey, what do I know? I'm just here. My script writers are telling me that this is going to happen, so you got to believe them. With a third pick, the New England Patriots select Drake May. At this point, I have seen some people talk rumblings about that Patriots are answering phone calls for teams that want to move up to get a QB. There's only a few QBs, 5, 4, maybe go in the top 20. I just think Patriots they need a QB. You can't ride with, I don't even know who their QB is. I don't. With the fourth pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver, Ohio State. You pair him up with Kyler Murray. You stick with Kyler Murray for another year. I've been seeing people talking about how Cardinals should select their QB. No, Kyler Murray is still coming back from his injury. You get a wide receiver, Marvin Harrison, you'll be fine. With the fifth pick, I have the Vikings trading up to the number 5th overall pick to get J.J. McCarthy, quarterback, wide receiver. Vikings are not going to run with Sam Darnold. They're not going to run with Sam Darnold for the future. You get J.J. McCarthy. Maybe you run with Sam Darnold for a year, or you just let J.J. McCarthy just sprint immediately into the main roster spot, but I got Vikings taking QB. With the 6th pick, I got the Malik Neighbors, wide receiver, LSU. He's probably the second best wide receiver in the draft. Maybe third, depending on who you ask. I think Malik Neighbors is going to do wonderful in the NFL. With the Giants, I could definitely see the argument of QB going here. There's the problem. Michael Penix and Bo Nix are kind of like the only 2 QBs left. Spencer Rattler is alright. I think he'll do pretty well. With the 7th overall pick, the Tennessee Titans select Joe Alt, offensive tackle. You protect your QB of the future in Will Levis, the mailman. Just protect him. I can see all the argument of wide receiver, but I don't have. My scriptwriter's not telling me that. With the 7th pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Dallas Turner, edge, Alabama. This is probably one of the best edges in the draft. I can definitely see the argument in any other defense. This may be a reach for me, but I think they go with the edge, and everything will be alright. With the 9th pick, the Chicago Bears select Rome Odunze, wide receiver, Washington. You get a quarterback in the first. Then you get a wide receiver, your 2nd pick, and Chicago is living up to the hype. You got Keenan Allen on I always say this with Chicago Bears. Their wide receivers, their offense may be scary, but it doesn't happen. I don't want to believe because it's Chicago. But I think if you get Rome Odunze, wide receiver, Washington, everything will be fine. With the 10th overall pick, the New York Jets select offensive tackle. I'm not even going to pronounce his name. Protect Aaron Rodgers. That's all you can do. You may go get Aaron Rodgers a new weapon, but everything will be alright. With the 11th pick, I got the LA Chargers selecting Brock Bowers, tight end. I hate this because I want him to come to Cincinnati, but I think he's going to be a top 12 pick. Chargers, you get Justin Herbert, another weapon. You get him another weapon, and everything will be fine. John Harbaugh. No, Jim Harbaugh. I don't know anymore. And everything will be A-okay. With the 11th pick, with the 12th pick, the Denver Broncos select, I hate to say this, Michael Penix Jr., quarterback. They just traded for Zach Wilson, gave up a 6th and a 7th, like 20 minutes, like an hour ago. You get a quarterback of the future. Hopefully this one works out. I love Michael Penix. I think he was balling in Washington in the national championship game until they lost. And then in the game against Texas, that game was amazing. Probably top 3 maybe college football playoff game of all time. But I got them picking quarterback of the future. With the 13th pick, this is where it gets tricky. The Las Vegas Raiders select Bo Nix, QB. You got you don't even have a Garoppolo. I don't even know who their QB is anymore. I really don't. You get Jarrett Stidham, I think, is your QB. You gotta pick a QB. Raiders may be a team to trade up to maybe number 5 before the Vikings and you get JJ McCarthy. These Broncos and Raiders are 2 teams that could trade up. Give it like a 2nd or a 1st. You might have to give a 1st in the top 10, but with the 14th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints select trade for 2 offensive tackle Washington. You protect Derek Carr. You may get a wide receiver, maybe. You maybe even get a QB, but all the good QBs are off the board. You're not going to go with Spencer Rattler. He's probably going to be a 3rd round, but trade for 2, great top prospect. I love him. I wish he would come to Cincinnati, but my script writers are telling me that's not what's going to happen. With the 15th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts select Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver. Get another weapon for Anthony Richardson. What a stud. Pick him up. And you cannot go wrong with a wide receiver at number 1 unless, or at the top like 32, unless that the wide receiver sucks. Just like John Ross. I just think in today's day and age, wide receivers are the most needy pick for a QB to succeed. With the 16th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Terron Arnold. At this point in the draft, you kind of get to the point, alright, what are the best prospects left on the board? There's obviously a lot of QB, top round 1 prospects left. Seattle's need to bump up the defense, and a quarterback will be pretty good. With the 17th overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select left two, edge, UCLA. Get your defense up. It's not a bad pick. With the 18th, the Cincinnati Bengals select Talis Frog, offensive tackle, Oregon State. Try and pray to God the Bengals get their offensive line figured out. Give Joe Burrow time to throw to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Give Joe Burrow time to throw to his receivers. Everything will be alright. With the 19th overall pick, the LA Rams select Jared Verse, edge, Florida State. You need an edge. Aaron Donald retired. You need to buff up your defense even more. You may go offensive tackle to protect Matthew Stafford. Now this is where it gets tricky in the late rounds. With the 20th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select offensive tackle Amiris Mims. Now you may be saying, Paul, where's J.C. Latham? Well, he goes here. Well, draft him already. I got back-to-back offensive tackles for the Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. You protect your QBs. You really cannot go wrong unless they suck. With the 22th overall pick, that's weird. With the 22nd overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Queen Mitchell Todell. The Eagles need quarterback help. Their defense kind of blew in the last few weeks of the NFL season. Yeah. With the 23rd overall pick, the LA Chargers select Brian Murphy. Texas. Beef up your defense. Helps as much as a wide receiver. You cannot go wrong. Brian Murphy arguably could go in the top 10. Not top 10. Top 15. I love him. I think he's a great prospect. Honestly, wouldn't mind if he gets picked up by Cincy. I'll do a Cincy Bengals who I want video tomorrow. But with the 24th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys, boo, select Tyler Guton. And you might be asking, who the hell was this? Well, I don't even know at this point. I just want the Cowboys to do mid. With the 25th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers select Nate Wiggins, cornerback, Clemson. Tom Grossi may be happy with this. I don't know. The Packers kind of need cornerback help. I don't really pay attention much to the Packers, I will say, but I just... Watching the Packers, their cornerbacks definitely need improvement, and I think Nate Wiggins is a great prospect. He's going to do wonderful in Green Bay. With the 26th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Chop Robinson, edge, Penn State. You beef up your defense. I've said this throughout the entire video. Beefing up your defense is the smart way to go. Defense wins championships. With the 27th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select John Newton, Illinois. Great prospect. Being from Illinois, I've watched a lot of Illinois games. He is always the top guy you want on your team. Honestly, maybe a locker room leader. Arizona Cardinals needs that because they got a QB dealing with Call of Duty skills. 28th overall pick, the Buffalo Bills select Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver. Last time I had the Chiefs going getting Adonai Mitchell. I think Adonai Mitchell's probably either going to go to Buffalo or Baltimore. They need wide receivers. They lost Stephon Diggs. I don't know where he went. To Houston. No. Yes. You lost Gabe Davis. You need wide receiver help. Josh Allen needs a wide receiver. Arguably, you could say Buffalo may trade up in the draft to get a wide receiver. Maybe you go get a late wide receiver in Brian Thomas. Maybe, I don't know. But that's what my script writers have been saying. With the 29th overall pick, the Detroit Lions select Kool-Aid McKinnis, Alabama. You get a cornerback. You help up your defense. Protect this backfield. Everything, albeit. With the 30th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Xavier Worthy, wide receiver. Get Lamar help. I don't even know. They have Zay Flowers, and that's pretty much it. I do not want this to happen. I love Xavier Worthy in Texas. What he did during the national championship was amazing. I do not want this, but that's what my scriptwriter's been telling me in my ear. With the 31st overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Grantham Barton Duke, offensive center. You help protect Brock Purdy. Everything will be a-okay. You can run it back to the Super Bowl, please. And with the 32nd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the reigning, defending, back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, select Ken Coleman, wide receiver, Florida State. This is my NFL Draft, mock draft 2.0. This is what the scriptwriters have told me what's going to happen. There is some trades may happen during the late, obviously with their late 20 picks, teams moving up, teams moving down. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to do not subscribe, do not like. I'm gonna do a Bengals video tomorrow about what the Bengals need. But yeah, make sure to follow me on all social media links down below. Make sure to check out my Twitter. Nothing happens anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great night. See ya!